Hello everybody and welcome back for a new video. Last video we made a cannon from scratch and we ended up with a, I'm pretty sure it was a 60 or 80 stacker cannon, but that was without a sound compression. And I kind of had to split up the video because they're getting quite long in the end here when you build cannons from scratch. But the first thing you gotta figure out when you make a sand compression, you have to figure out exactly how many sand you need to stack and how many like how big you want it as well. So that normally if you do like a normal sand compression, we're gonna do that today, and then later on we might do reusable cobwebs, which is let me see if I can find some. I'm pretty sure we have some somewhere around here. Can't all be gone. Oh yeah, something like this. The same system here, just not for the fusion, but something like this as well with the one push and so on, like we made a series on. But for now, let's go ahead and just use this here, right here. So today we are gonna make a normal sand compression, not reusable cobwebs or anything like that, and then we will go from there. The first thing we have to figure out is exactly how much sand we need to stack. So let's just say we want to stack 100 sand. We have to figure out how many pistons we want to use for that. Of course, as long as you want to only make it 2 wide. You don't want to make it 3 wide, you don't want to make it 4 wide or anything like that, because then you need redstone underneath and stuff like that. So for as long as you can, make it 2 wide here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's then it's 20 high. Then that is 160 sand. We're of course not going to use all that sand, but it's kind of nice to have your sand stacks quite far down instead of like you have to stack the sand from here then all the way up here. Oh, okay, I had speed on. But what we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do 4 wide in this case here. And of course, when you do this with only 2 pistons next to each other, we can go ahead and we can cover this here with redstone here. So whenever you push this one, you'll see that they will all go up perfectly, and that's kind of what we wanted. So now we need to figure out what way you want the TNT to fall. Let's just say we want to go this way. We want this TNT to go that way, so we can put that back, and we need some kind of sorcery here that is gonna push the TNT out, push the sand out of the sand compression. And of course, you can't do the dispensers right here, because if you water it, then it will flow all over the place. So unless you have sponges close to it, it's not gonna work. So what I always like to do is just build these up like this. Oops, like that. And then of course we can have our ladders right here that will prevent any water to run through here. Now we want to make sure that we don't, on the other side of this piston here, we want to put a block, and we do that because if we don't do that, then when we start igniting this right here, you see that will automatically turn that on. So if we had a piston a dispenser right there, it will automatically put TNT into this little room here, and it's gonna fuck up. So always put 2 blocks like that. Of course, you could have glass here, but you won't be able to have ladders on it then. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna try to make it as smooth as possible. So let's go ahead and do this. And of course we want glass here, that way from the air you'll be able to see if you watered it correct or something like that. But this is basically the model for that. Now that we're right here, we want glass right here, and we do that because we want to make sure that when we fire this cannon, we'll be able to look into it to make sure that nothing fucked up or anything like that. So you can put glass there, you can put a full block, it doesn't really matter. I just simply do it because then I'll be able to see if something goes goes to crap, then it's easier to see. So now that we've done that, we need to do something else here, because we want the glass out here. There we go. And then we want full box here again. There we go. Just so, like, we could go out and put glass here instead, but we don't really need to. Now that we've done that, you see that this here is 2 blocks, so that means there's going to be sand right here, and we don't really have a cannon where you'll be able to have 2 places with sand to go into the cannon. So we need this to go either that way or that way, and again, it doesn't really matter what way it is. I'm simply just gonna pick a way. That's a dropper, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this way right here, and if you see, if you put the TNT right there, the TNT is gonna go right here, and again, you won't be able to watercolor that without the water going into the redstone. So we need a pillar up like this, put ladders, and then we can go ahead and put this up. Of course, we don't really need all that TNT, but you get what I mean here. After that, let's just go ahead and do this for now, and then we can do this so it looks kind of smooth. And there we go. Perfect. Yeah, I kind of like this. Of course, now that the sand is going to come from here and get pushed this way, we need some kind of blocks to stop it. So let's go ahead and use that, and then realign this with another copper pillar so it looks kind of nice, like that. Now that we've done that, we need to figure out where we're going to have these pistons here. So let's go ahead and figure this out. We can have them up here like this, and like there's possibilities to make it even higher up. It's really up to you what you think, but if this one is pressured out like this, then that's gonna act like a full block, so we can put cobblestone here. That's not gonna interfere with any sand going anyway, so that's really nice. But let's just go ahead and redstone this up now. Of course, we don't really want the redstone to, let's see what we can do here. If we do this, that's just some of the other ways I did it on my cannons here. We can do it like that. Yes, definitely do it like that. But it means that again we're gonna have to push this up. But let's just place that right there. So let's go ahead and do that. That is something. Something like this. There you go. Do the same over here, like that. Then of course we can push all this one more up. So let's do that. So everything looks smooth again. There we go. Of course, now we can add even more TNT here. Let's go ahead and do that. In this case, you really don't need to, but we're gonna go ahead and do it anyways. What the fuck is my dog doing? Damn bone. That's so loud. Now that we've done this, then we can put this one more up, I guess. Like, I'm just building off for like whatever, you know, like you can do this differently. You don't need to do like this. So now that it's got in here, we can choose how high we want it. I kind of want it one more high. So something like this should be fine. I kind of want it quite high up. Of course, if you have a lower cannon, you can do that as well. But for now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 high, and that's gonna leave the 4th block as the guider. If you see the cannon here, then this one is gonna be the guider, and then of course the hammer down is gonna be one above that. But we're gonna talk about that when we complement this into a cannon. If you guys wanna hear more about that as well. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and we can put out the redstone and hold it along like this. Of course, we're gonna need a redstone torch as well. So let's go ahead and do that like this. That is gonna keep those fully expressed. So let's see if we can do it like this. We can also do that. Just leave one. It goes all the way around, and it doesn't really seem like it is touching any TNT because of the height we made it. So this is perfect. Now we've done that, we need these pistons here to be extended all times. Of course, if we have sand here, we want to be able to do something like this. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's try. Alright, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. So now that we've done that, that means that this comparator goes into this block, this one goes other way, whetstone up there, whetstone here, torch there, and then everything should be gushy. So now that you've done that, and you can actually have enough sand here, let's actually just make sure we can have enough sand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10. Perfect. Then we need to stack this up for 4 or 5 times, right? Yeah, 60 sand. Of course, if you have a 60 stacker, you will stack a little bit more. If you have a 100 stacker, you will stack a little bit more than that. But 60 sand here. Let's do the same again. There we go. Let me go down here. That's 100 sand. Pretty sure 110 sand. That should be enough for 100 stacker. Now we just need to figure out if this one can actually hold it up for that long. So let's go ahead and put cobwebs in, and then let's try to give it a scoop here. There we go. It should hold more than enough. Yeah, we can even use this compression for another cannon as well if that's what we want. But now that we have that, we have a lot of things we need to wire up now. But this is basically the main things about this cannon here is what we have right here. So now we can start going crazy and actually fill this up with some redstone as well. Of course this one is 4 long. Let's just make this one more long as well. Why not? Now that we've done this, then of course we're gonna have some challenging by putting up redstone and such. But if you do it like this, then there shouldn't really be any issues. Of course that's gonna look silly. There is an easier way to do it, but for now let's just do it the easier way so everybody can follow along here. And of course this one redstone's up like that, and then you can grab some slabs here. Simply just do something like this, and then that will be powered. As well as over here, we can go ahead and we can fuck this one up. Guys, we can go ahead and we can do this. But let's go ahead and put that up like this. Of course, you could redstone it differently if that's what you want. I'm just simply doing it the easiest and fastest way for this video here. But of course, you can kinda see that you can do it differently in a better way as well. But you can do that on your own cannon. But let's go ahead and wire this one up. The last bit of it. This will make everything work perfectly. Every single TNT here will be ignited. And if you like wanted to like redstone this better up, what you could do is using the redstone method by simply doing this and then put a redstone here and put a block on top and put a redstone there, as well as the other side, because that the dispenser acts like a full block. So whenever you see here, so whenever you ignite this one, then ignite that one down as well. Why am I getting lag here? It's a bit weird. And of course that one redstone there goes 2 up, but let me quickly fix the lag here and I'll be right back. Alright, now that is taken care of, but my dog still have its bone. Might be a little bit annoying. But as you see, this one little redstone here goes 2 up. Like ignite both this one and this one. So that is basically it. Now that we've done this, and we have both this and this one, then we need to figure out how we're gonna wire this up. So of course you want this one here to power first, and after that comes this one. But in this case, like if you want to have a piston here as well as that, I can't do that. Fucking hell, that's so annoying. Gosh dang it. Alright, if you want to have sorry about that, guys. If you want to have this wired up to a cannon, you're gonna need the button to be somewhere around here or something like that. So that's very important that we try to compress this a little bit more. Let's try to do something like this. Should still be possible, yeah. And then we can move this one in. So let's try to compress this a little bit more like this. and it still works perfectly. Yep. Alright, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get rid of this here. There we go. So it's kind of nice. Then we need to figure out how we're going to do this. So first of all, we're going to need to put repeater. No, wait, let me think. Yeah, we're going to need to put repeater there. And that has to go into this. But we don't want to go... There we go. And then we put a repeater more. That way that will get it a full power here, so we'll be able to put it something on the booster as well for the cannon, because the booster on the Hammerdown has to go up real quick. So that isn't needed as well. But of course you want a full power on this as well, because if you do something like, let's just put it out here, if you do something like this, then it won't really extend for as long time as the other. Let's see, as you see right there, that's not really going to be the same. So what we're going to do is that we're going to put a repeater right there, and then just simply stack it down with glowstone or slabs or whatever. But let's go this way actually. There we go. And let's put that there. Wire that up like this. Then of course we're going to have something to ignite this here as well. Yeah. Alright, so now that we've done this, then it's get a little bit tricky here, because if you push this button, oh wait, if you push a button right here, this one is going to ignite first, and then after this one, and there's no way to change that unless you put it on right here. So as you can see right now, one repeater is 1 tick, so that's 1 tick, and that's 2 ticks, and then the repeater itself. So if you want this one here to go off exactly, then let's put 4 repeaters on this. Of course you can change it if you want, but let's for now put it on 4. And if you don't want to do this, then you can go ahead and you can take the redstone around this right here, so 2 more blocks out, then you can start making the redstone. It's really up to you. But now we have to figure out something here, because right now we want that to be there. So let's go ahead and make that go up like this. Yeah, something like that. That's fine. Or we can do something like this. It doesn't really matter. Because we want to use a little bit of this space here. Because we want a redstone right there. And then we're just going to go along with repeaters here. And we're going to see if that is enough. If not, then we'll figure something else out. But let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Perfect. Now let me get rid of this lever here. It's getting a little bit annoying. But that is basically it. Now you've got everything wired up. So let's go ahead and try to give it our first try. Of course, we're gonna need this. We're gonna need bedrock underneath our platform as well, so we don't accidentally blow everything up we just made. That would be such a fail. So let's put that bedrock right there. Alright, there you go. And then let's put in the cobwebs and put in the sand, and then we should be good to go. Right now I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to stack this one up, I guess. And you have to play a little bit with the sand compression. If you're not really familiar with it, then you will have to play a little bit with the ticks before you get it just right. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to try to just play with it, and then we'll see what happens. But first, before we do that, let me just quickly make something here so we can count the sand and such. I'll be right back. Alright, I set up a little cobweb here, so now we should be able to go crazy. Wait, looks like we made 1 more piston than down here. Okay, that's a little bit. Well, how did I do that? How did I actually? Oh god! Alright, let me just fix that, guys. Like it's just silly me, you know. Like I am always like that. Alright, there we go. That should be perfect. Let's break that. There we go. Oh, it's just, holy moly, that's just me, guys. I'm really that stupid. Okay, so now that we got this, let's just make sure that we will actually be able to oh, okay. We'll still be able to do this, right? Yeah, alright, perfect. But let's put in the sand in again. like this, then now we should be fine. Yeah, now we should be fine. But let's go ahead and try our first run here with this. Okay. What was that? What in the hell was that? What? Did the piston really fuck up by doing that? Yeah, they did. Pistons fucked up. Let's just redo all the pistons. This happens sometimes. It's kind of annoying, but alright. Let's just redo the pistons, I guess. Right. There we go. Now it should work perfectly. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and try our first run here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, this is already... Yeah, as you see, we need a lot more delay on this one. So now we have to think back, like how many ticks does it take for TNT to blow up and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and try with 10 repeaters instead. Already, like, of course I already know the right ticks for it, but I want you guys to also look at this video here and then see, oh, okay, that is what wrong. But when you use this way, I just built this. This is 10 repeaters and 2 ticks, then it will work perfectly. But I kind of want to show you guys like what you need to look for whenever. But let's just see here how many we have right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that is 9. We definitely need to do something about that. So let's go ahead and put that right here, right? There we go. And then we can do this. There we go. And of course, this is just very bad redstone, but yeah, I think you'll be able to do it way better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, then we need to pressure in 2 ticks somewhere. Of course, we can move this one back. We can do that as well. But I kind of want to show you right now actually how it looks like. So let's paste that in again, and then we go, so that everything goes in, and you see, as you see, like it is so, like you can almost not see it, but if you worked with this before, you'll be able to see that it is the pistons need 2 more ticks for it to be perfect. You kind of need it to blow up as soon as the piston goes up. So let's fit in 2 more ticks here, somewhere around here. Bum 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 bum. That is 1 tick. That is 2 ticks. If I'm correct, this should work perfectly. If I don't forgot something. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. No, maybe not. Okay, let's see how it is. I see how it is, boys. I see how it is. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 ticks. Of course, that is 2 ticks into this compression here as well. So, of course, that's not going to work. I'm just being silly once again. So, let's go ahead and make this right. There we go. There we go. And 2 ticks. There we go. I'm not sure I had that one right there, to be honest. But that is, again, that is too far for the redstone to go, so we need to do this. So we might just go 1 tick. There we go. Let's see if it will work now. So 10 repeaters and 2 ticks. Alright. No sand. Everything went as it should. Everything is up in the corner. And looks perfect to me. Of course, now we have to figure out, and if you look right there, you'll see E, 80 out of 81. That means like it's 80 or 81 sand, mostly 80. So let's go ahead and paste this in again, and then let's just see here why we only have 80 sand when we should have 100 here. Okay, we only have 80. But again, that is like kind of how you do that. So it took all the way out. But we need to do even more here. Oops. That's 96. Here we go. 104. We even need to go one more up. There we go, 112. Let's see if our compressor here can take that. Let me actually copy this. Gonna make life so much easier. Copy that. Alright, there we go. Let's see if we can handle it. Yep, looks just fine. And now if you go up here, E, then you see 112 sand, so that means that our sand compression works. So that's perfect. So now we have to figure out where we're gonna have this button here. Of course, there's different ways you can do it. Something called a pulse extender and stuff like that you can put on it, but that's in later videos here. So now let me just go ahead and drop 4 repeaters here. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th over there. Yeah, perfectly. That's just how I want to do it. Like this really doesn't do anything besides giving a few ticks. But to be honest, guys, it looks so much better than just having something like this. But again, you can just leave it like this. It doesn't really matter. But now you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna make a cobblestone, and you might need to make a button here, and that's where your cannon comes in. Of course, that's gonna be where the cobweb is right now. But that is basically how you make a sand compression. Of course, this is a very, very bad redstone. I don't recommend doing this like this. Of course, you can mirror it so much more in by especially doing, let's go ahead and remove this. Put that back there, and then we can put this one up here, put that right there. The same over here. Let's get rid of this, put that right there, put that up there. There we go. That will be able to do everything. But again, you can even move this one more back, and you can have this go here instead or something like that. Or you can even have these repeaters. Actually, let me see here. You can even have the repeaters here instead. Let me move it over here. You can even have the repeaters right here instead of over here. That way it will make a little bit more space here. But again, then you will have it right here, and these repeaters here is used for the pistons as well. So that way you will kind of compress it to only one line of repeaters, which I highly recommend you do. But in this case, we are doing it like this. But let's go ahead and wire this back up like this. Of course, it looks kind of silly right now. You should be able to press everything down and then do it from there, to be honest. Of course, these repeaters here, you can move them back. No one says it have to be right here, and that way we give a little bit more space. But as you see, it uses it from that one there, and we will be able to go into like how to redstone way better, maybe in a later episode of how to do this yet. But this is a very, very, very bad design. As you see, the redstone is absolutely horrible, and I do that because I want you guys. Okay, something went fucked here. Because I want you guys to, to do this yourself, and I want you guys to say, okay, well, how can I do this better? And of course, that is kind of hard if you haven't really done redstone before. But to be honest, guys, like, you will be able to do this way better than I did. But because as you see on my other cannons there, it is not like this silly here, as well as this down here. It's not really that. If you go up to my 60 stacker here, that's, you see, like right here, you see there's like one more out. That way you will have 2 more blocks here. But again, then you have your fine redstone going like this, instead of having it going like this, where you have it under this one. But that's really up to you what you want to do. There's a bunch of opportunities to do this. There's a bunch of ways to upgrade this cannon here to whatever you guys would ever imagine. But let's paste it in again, and let's see if we fix the issue with the piston here. See if it works again. But there you go. That is how you make that. Works kind of nice, I guess. Of course, the whetstone is crap, could be better, but I'm sure you'll figure out a way to do this better than I do. One thing I want to say though is that if you're gonna do it this way, let's just take these up. So when you whetstone your cannon up, you go ahead and you do this. Then you put repeaters and whetstone and all that, and then you put cobblestone here. That way when you schematic it in, then it's going to be way better to print that in without slabs doubling up. And as well, when you go around a corner, so let's just say we're going to have, let's just say you're going to stack that 5 up, and you're going to have your repeaters like right here. You want to have a block there, like just like I showed you, so that way we've double whetstone that up, and then when you go further up, you can do it again and again and again and again all the way up. That way it will like look smooth in the corners as well, or not that much whetstoned up, which is definitely giving you some advantage, or not really advantage. But I think that's just about it for this video here, guys. This is how you make your own sand compression. Next time we might go into reusable cobwebs, so we might go into something entirely different. That's really up to you guys. So leave a comment down below of what you want me to do, or what you want me to explain, and try my best to explain at least. But this time this was just a normal sand compression, or how to build a sand compression. Next time let's do reusable or something else. Let me know down in the comments. But if you like this video, of course like the video, and comment down below for any suggestions, issues, or whatsoever you might have with my cannons. But as always, subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.